Hey everyone, I just wanted to give you a heads up. There's a video that's going to be starting in a moment, which is an update on the States and why we're looking at America for treatment for Kelly, and just to give you a bit of an update on everything. And it looks like I'm stuttering a little bit in it, and I'm a little bit sort of out and then coming back in again. And it's because I've got notes. I wanted to get it right. I was really quite passionate about getting it correct, and so I've got notes to the side of me, and you can almost see me looking and then thinking about it and then coming back. And I just wanted to explain that because it looks a little bit odd in certain places of it. So anyway, I hope this is quite informative for you. If you've got any questions, you know where I am. Just reply on the video or send me a DM, whatever you prefer. And yeah, I'll catch up with you soon. Take care. Bye bye.
Hey everyone. So I thought I'd give you an update on Kelly, the run, and also just answer a few questions about why America, why we're doing this, and what's important, for us to get across. So when we're talking about America, why America, or even Europe, we are talking about a second or third or fourth opinion overseas, whether that be in Europe or America. It's never a bash on the NHS or suggest that Kelly and I are upset with her oncologist or he's useless or anything like that. He's not. He's fantastic. He's an absolute miracle worker. And when we asked for time, that's what he gave us. He sat us down and he said, "What do you want?" And we looked at each other and we both said, "Time. As much time as you can give. Kelly here for as long as possible." And she's one of, I think the first person in the UK to be over a year out of chemo without any further treatments with this type of cancer, and that needs to be celebrated. I mean, that is something else. But we are a small island, The cancer that Kelly has unfortunately been saddled with affects a minimum number of people in the UK, and it's really it's not enough to warrant any further investigation, so they don't, and we don't even have a doctor in this country that specialises in a leiomyosarcoma. We've got someone that specialises in sarcomas, but not leiomyosarcomas, especially that are spread to lungs and lymph nodes, So because as well there's so few people that are being diagnosed with this type of cancer because it's that rare, there's no funding going towards getting people to this speciality status as such. And you can understand it pragmatically, you can understand it logically, but when it's happened to someone you love, you kind of, rationality kind of goes out the window, really, doesn't it? Let's be honest. So I always talk about America as if it's an ideal, all right? So let's concentrate there for now. In America, there are a number of doctors that specialize in this cancer, There is a charity whose main aim is funding research into leiomyosarcomas, It's a current project at the moment, which is in partnership with the Broad Institute and the Dana-Farber, I think it is, Institute, which is called Count Me In, all right? And this is, LMS patients are donating tumor tissue and have been since, I've been for I think about 7 or 8 years now, in order to really understand this type of cancer and where to go with it in the future. And it is all to get with this really to expand the knowledge and to work with more effective treatments. Now this project, this is the problem, this project, it launched last year, so the tissue and sample stuff have been going for a few years, but the actual project itself launched last year, and the UK is not a part of it. So for anybody who's thinking, why America, well, that's one answer there, unfortunately, is we don't take part in things like this in the UK. We just don't, unfortunately. Even the private sector just don't take part. So in America, there is also, I've got a bit of notes and stuff here, so bear with me. It's a Signatera blood test, I think that's how you're saying it, I'm not entirely sure, which can detect molecular residual disease and small fragments of DNA released by solid tumours, We don't use this in the UK at all. All right, so it's another thing where you only say with the Americans and stuff are so far advanced, this is just another example. Even though it has a positive predictive value of 98% and could reduce the need for scans and radiation, we're not endorsing it over here. Okay, it's been used over there now, I think, to detect reoccurrences and really undoubtedly helped anybody with early detection. We really could have done with that. And they use this blood test as a priority when you are presenting fibroids. They'll take this blood test, they'll look at it, and they'll see, well, Kelly was diagnosed with fibroids. Imagine she'd had that blood test. We probably wouldn't be here now, because they would have detected it. And that's something you just want to keep your eye on. That's I don't understand it, but again, this isn't a smite or a thing at the NHS, because it really isn't. The protocols are there, and they are following the protocols. Eventually, I would love to campaign to get those changed. Right now, obviously, focusing on Kelly. So there's a number of clinical trials overseas as well. That's another thing. So we can get Kelly in front of an egotistical doctor that just goes, right, okay, I want to help this woman from the UK that's got this and show her, how the Americans do it. Fine, we're happy with that. Let's go for it. But they need your DNA profile, they need genomic and genetic history to be considered. And this isn't available in the NHS. So it needs to be paid for privately, which we've done with one of them already. And we'll continue to do so that when a trial does come up, we are ready. We can go, right, here's everything, here's Kelly, get to work. Let's get this sorted, let's get this fixed. And this is something that we've encountered a few times, and I've encountered when I've met doctors privately, on appointments and things like that. Kelly's had it obviously in hospitals and things, but over here, a leiomyosarcoma is the cause of what we call the head tilt. So that's what people know what it is. And, so I might be talking to somebody, go, my wife's got stage 4 cancer, it's a uterine leiomyosarcoma, and they go, oh, I'm sorry. And it causes this head tilt. Everybody does it, I don't really realise, and they're being nice, and it's not, a thing at them, but it is something that we've noticed, because the understanding over here is, oh, right, okay, I'm sorry. And then that's it. There's not, right, okay, well, I'm working on something for this, or I know somebody that can help with that, or anything like that. There's no positivity. It's almost like, oh, I'm sorry. And it's one of a better phrase, it's seen as a bit of a death sentence, okay? And Kelly and I are gonna change that, right? Kelly's gonna change it. I'm just by her side. She's the one that's gotta go through all of this. But we all know how strong she is from how she dealt with the chemo. So God can do anything. So the more proactive approach America does yield for better figures, all right? And we found some survivors that have been over 20 years. And bear in mind, they gave Kelly 6 months, and then, she's the first person in this country to be a year out of chemo with this, the exact thing that she has. But we're seeing people over in the States that are surviving for 20 plus years. Why wouldn't we want that? Kelly has this dream of 15 years. Sod that, I want her for another 25, 30. I want us to grow old together. Why wouldn't I want that? So if there's an opportunity for me to do it, I'm gonna do it. It might take running for 4 days. What's 4 days in a lifetime? It's nothing, is it? And whatever it is I'm gonna suffer with doing that is nothing compared to what she went through with chemo. I'm not gonna get to the end of that with, my hair gone and teeth missing and my mouth lining damaged and, my heart giving out or anything like that. So it's a hell of a task, but compared to what she's been through and what she's been going through and what she may go through in the future, but your help and everybody's help is just really, it really, really, really means a lot, okay? So, like I said, Kelly has this dream bookmark of 15 years, and like I said, I want more than that, and I won't stop at 15 years. I want to, like I said, as long as possible. And it's always about the kids. She has these little milestones that she wants to do. It's like she wants to see Sam get into high school. Well, that's happening in September, so she's going to see that. Then she's going to want to see Isla in high school, and then she's going to want to see Sam at his first prom, and then Isla at her prom, and then them going to university, and you know, their first boyfriend or girlfriend, or you know, their first heartbreak and things like that. All those firsts that we've got going with the kids to look forward to. The heartbreaks, but that's gonna be devastating. You ever seen Sad Sammy? It's awful. And quite frankly, whoever breaks up with Isla, I'm more concerned for their welfare. If you know her, you know. But you know, you're sort of, we're putting ourselves out there. We're not really these types of people that put ourselves out there and ask for this. And Kelly doesn't really like it. You know, she openly admits that she doesn't like being out there and under a bit of a microscope or anything like that. And all, you know, what they're raising funds for now and all this sort of thing. We don't. I'm pretty certain no one's ever saying that, but it, you know, we don't like it. But at the same time, her life could be at stake. So I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep pushing, and all of your response has made me feel incredibly grateful. And the same with Kelly. You know, everybody has just been so supportive, and actually feel like it's gonna happen. We had the false start, we had the ankle unpleasantness, and then yes, I went and ran on it too soon, and I did it again. You know what I'm like. I'm learning, all right? I'm not running today. I did how many miles it is over the weekend, and I ran 6 miles last night, and I'm not gonna run today. Much. Might get a 5K in later, we'll see. But until, you know, we're gonna have to keep doing this until this treatment starts to filter into the UK, or we get her onto something in the States, you know, and you know, it's one of those. It's gonna keep going until I save her. It's as simple as that, you know. Kelly is stable right now. She's stable, and you could see her walking down the street, and you wouldn't think anything of it. Right, you wouldn't look at her and think anything. She just looks a healthy 42-year-old woman, right? But the cancer in her body is known for just flaring up or becoming active, and when that happens, if it's at the beginning of a 3-month scan cycle, by the time we get to that 3rd month scan, that's enough time for it to get everywhere. So it is so important that we do this. And also, from Kelly's point of view, she lives 3 monthly. She lives in between these scans. Like now she feels, right, okay, it's not been active. Got to be careful with the lymph nodes, but it's not active. I've got another 3 months. But the week building up to that scan is hard work. And then normally you've got then a month until you get the results. And this time we only had 2 weeks because Kelly's got a couple of skin lesions that the oncologist wanted to look at. But essentially, you know, we've then got another month until we get the results. And the couple of days before, the pair of us are absolutely bloody useless. You can't blame us, but we don't know what's happening, you know. And this is probably one of the biggest parts of it, is we don't know what's going on. Every cough or, you know, niggle or anything that she gets, try not to, but you can't look like, you okay? You know, you can't help it, it's there. And, you know, it's just one of those. So this run and everything, and all of your support we're so unbelievably grateful. I mean, I'm going on the radio on Thursday. If you know me, you'd never have thought that would be possible. I spent 38 years not talking to anybody. They can't shut me up. How long has this video been going? 13.5 minutes. Oops. One of those ones I have to split again, I'm afraid. So yeah, from the Pendries to all of you out there, we are so eternally grateful, and I hope this helps answer any questions that you've got about why America is important. And all we ask is, you know, if everybody put in the price of a cup of coffee, we all get to the States, no problems at all. Okay, and if you've donated already, thank you. If you're unable to, we totally understand. We've been in that position. But if you can just share and share and share as much as you can, I really, really, really would appreciate it. And remember, this is so important, men and women, if there's something you're not happy with, fight for it, okay? When it comes to your health, don't just take a backseat approach. Don't just believe what they tell you if you're not happy with what they tell you. If you don't feel that what they tell you is right, okay? Goes for men as well. Don't put yourself through what we're going through. Just don't. I can't stress that enough, okay? I don't want to hear, I don't want to be a bother. Be a bother. It's what you pay national insurance for, okay? Be a bother. I know the NHS is stretched. I know, I understand. But at the same time, look after yourselves, all right? Take care. Bye-bye.